say right away, before, like basically when you get your business plan, you want to kind of have your end game going. So we all know that, Rome wasn't built by ourselves and one person couldn't do it. So you should always look at your business the same way. If I started tomorrow, for instance, okay, how many dogs can I realistically take on by myself? And I would even say that's only like a 4 to 5 dog situation. A lot of people take on like 10 to 20 before they even hire. But once you get like 4 dogs, you should be researching and thinking about adding someone almost immediately. And that's the best way that you're going to be able to scale right away. Because if you're out there doing all the man labor, you're not going to be growing your business. And if you're not growing it, you're not going to be in an option to step away. So I would say to think about hiring almost immediately. You can put your flyer out, put your ad out, start filtering different candidates. And that way you're not pressed. You're not pressed for time and say, oh goodness, I have too many clients now, or, I want to take a day off. You're doing it in your own leisure time, which is nice. And then the second part to that question is, how do I hire the right people? Take a full glance at your audience. You want to know if you have mom and pop type clients, if you have more, upscale clients. You want to take a gander at your full profile and look at yourself, what you want to represent your company and what that person looks like to you. Everyone runs a different business. Everyone has a different style. But when you want to add your culture ad or someone that's going to complement your system, I know some people say they hire the opposite of them. They don't want to hire, their duplicate, which I love hiring the duplicates. I think they're great. So, you might want to think about what you need at that very moment because the first person you hire is someone who can actually replicate yourself and do it and, kind of implement your vision and your business plan. And then the second person you hire is going to bring a little more creative aspect, or the third person you hire is going to bring a little more business mind. So you want to look at like the recipe of what you're trying to accomplish.
And then how do you balance hiring somebody and paying them and yet you still bringing in money for yourself?
Great. So let's think about like the very, very beginning. Most people already have a job. They have their own 9-to-5 job typically before they decide to, quit and go full blown into the pet care industry. I would say that's probably like 75% of people are already working in some capacity. That's the best scenario to be in, because you're not stressed for time, you're not stressed for money. I have a client that I'm coaching right now that has a full-time job. And she asked me, she said, should I quit? I said, no, do not quit your day job. You are in the perfect position to hire someone online and do all the work for you. She's like, really? I shouldn't quit. I say, no, stay right where you are, keep your benefits, hire someone else, because now you're going to understand how to manage them from afar. You're going to understand what it looks like to not be the person running the show. And you'll have more confidence to see someone else can do the exact job that you don't need to personally, physically do. So that would be the perfect scenario, is to stay at your job, hire someone else. You can obviously use your own income you're making from your other income sources to do marketing, do more advertising. So you see how that works. You're not really pressed for money. You can make a lot more strategic moves. But if you are a person like myself who did go balls to the wall and just quit and took a sabbatical and then started their business, go ahead and take an assessment of your bills and what you have and what it's requiring you to pay. One thing I did is I downgraded everything. I was living in a penthouse apartment. I was driving a luxury vehicle. I got rid of all of that. Got to a very, very basic apartment. I traded in my luxury vehicle for a Prius, and I was living minimal. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to spend all my money in my business, and I wanted to have the least overhead as possible. So if you can do the spring cleaning and sell what you can and what you don't need, you're going to feel much better about your spirit anyways, because you're decluttering. But then you can start putting this income now into your staff, and you don't require it for yourself any longer. And the same thing, almost 30 days later, if you're doing your marketing correctly, you get that money back. It's so funny. I look at my old life and I'm like, remember when I had to downgrade and sell everything? I got it all back now. So it's just a temporary solution for a long-term gain. If you don't want to, do venture capital or get any business or bank loans, and you just want to build your bricks from yourself. That's the way to do it, step by step.